Look at him. Look.
Let's get this thing
I got
rolling.
beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, ram, raw, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, red. You name it. Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, ram, raw, beans, greens.
All right, let's get this thing started. Let me cue these up.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, on this beautiful, beautiful night, we are back live in the huddle. And just a friendly reminder that the request line is 607-753-4819. Once again, 607-753-4819. We already had a caller. We're looking for more. We want to know who's really not scared to get in this huddle, because we got a lot to
Somebody's
discuss.
got to get in here and give us some hot takes.
Yes, sir.
Because we're cooking it up right now with these debates.
Let's go.
What do we have next here?
So right now we have the battle of the 6 and 5 AFC teams. So as we all know, right, there's going to be a lot of teams shuffling for that final spot. But who will get it? Who has the best shot of making the playoffs out of these group of guys or teams, should I say?
Lil, you lead this one off.
The Steelers, the Titans, the Colts, or the Raiders, or the haters. But I got to throw the haters in there too.
You lead this one off, Lil, and then I'll pick it up because we
Okay.
know who we know who each other's going with.
Yes, sir.
But let's see what happens.
Right now, ladies and gentlemen, out of those groups, I gotta go with the Colts to get that last spot. The Colts, they played the Titans this Sunday, so obviously that's gonna say a lot in our, predictions. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be a lot.
I think that'll definitely determine it.
Listen, Derrick Henry is a monster. Don't get me wrong. Derrick Henry is a monster for the Titans, and he's another in the Huddle Player of the Week nominee, as he already been already. But even though he's a monster,
What do you got about these indie Colts?
and the Colts is without Marlon Mack, return of the Mack, even though he's not returning for a couple weeks, the Colts play this game at home against the Titans, and it's very winnable. So the Colts play the Titans at home. Obviously, the Titans is fighting for that spot. I'm going to give the Colts that game. And now you look at the remaining schedule. Titans at Bucks, winnable. Obviously, the Bucks, you see the Bucks is 1 minute they'll show Jameis Winston will throw for daggone 400 yards, and then he have a turnover-filled game. I don't know which Bucks we're going to see, but let's say, because that's how it normally happens. They do good 1 week,
They're just
then they fall off the next week.
inconsistent.
So I say that's winnable for the Colts to go on the road at the Saints. Obviously, I don't think they're going to win that game. That's one game that they will drop. But then you got the Panthers at home, winnable. Kyle Allen, he looked all right against the Saints, but they have lost a few games on the road. And you're home against the Jaguars. Ladies and gentlemen, do I got to roar like a Jaguar? I'm going with the Colts.
And I'm going to take the contrary here. And I know I have a good friend from back home, my man Mike from Westchester County. He's a huge Titans fan, without a doubt, in my mind, the biggest Titans fan in New York. But I'm going to have to ride with the Tennessee Titans, man. Remember the Titans. Don't ever forget the Titans.
Remember the Titans, brother.
After what they did to Jacksonville, yes, I know it's Jacksonville, but I don't care because I have seen Ryan Tannehill do great things for this Titans offense, turn it around, quite frankly. Looking at how he completely earned the starting spot, the trade boded to be great for them, and he's balling out right now. He's showing the Titans that he is their guy, and he's making big plays with his arms as well as his legs. He had like 40 yards on the ground and 2 TDs in that win against the Titans. You put it in perspective, he's the #1 ranked fantasy quarterback for points, which doesn't mean much for the league. He's been stellar this year, and then like you said, Lil, you have that man, Derrick Henry, a beast among men, behind one of the better lines in the league. Henry, 2 touchdowns, 157 yards for this Titans offense. Biggest game coming up for them, like you said, is the Colts. Both these teams 6 and 5. Both these teams in the AFC South. This is single-handedly, for their playoff sake, the biggest game of the season. And even though the Colts, led by Frank Reich, one of the best coaches in the league, have one of the better run defenses, I think that because Tannehill is way better than Mariota throwing the football, this completely opens up the offense for the Titans. I think this is a tough game to the end because they are in Indianapolis. But Tannehill's ability to throw the football very effectively in these past few weeks, they did beat the Chiefs before the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think that, the Titans do it. I think they run the table. I think, like you said, they have a good shot against the Bucks and the Panthers. The Saints, for me, is the biggest thing. If they can beat the Saints, I think they're destined to make the playoffs, but that's easier said than done. And, you know, man, it's just Tannehill for me. 896 yards with 6 touchdowns and just 2 interceptions against the entire AFC thus far. That's only against the AFC, so he's doing big things. I do think the Texans are a fluke overall. You don't have Deshaun Watson, they're nothing. And I think the Titans are rolling on a 2-game win streak, and I think they can beat the Colts this Sunday.
Have Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
They do.
That's what I was going to say. So since they have Deshaun Watson, there's no fluke anywhere.
But
Deshaun
I still
Watson
believe
is the team.
I still believe the Titans can beat them because they play the Texans two more times.
It's certainly possible. I gotta run down the other 2 teams just so everybody knows where the power levels are at. For me, it's more than likely the winner of next weekend's matchup between the Colts and the Titans that takes the wild card spot.
Yeah.
But hear me out. The Steelers are on the right track by benching Mason Rudolph. I don't think Mason Rudolph should start on any NFL team. He's garbage. He's garbage, I tell you. So benching Rudolph
It's not that bad.
Then he's really bad.
Nah, he's
not
not
that bad.
like
No.
a
I mean,
the
glad
brother
trash
got
bag.
dinged. The
out
brother
here.
got dinged in the
The
head.
man's been hit a couple times in that head.
Listen,
Nah.
exactly. He been hit a couple times in that head, and before the head injuries, he was playing all right.
Yeah,
What'd you say
he
before
was
the head
decent.
injuries?
He
But
was
got knocked
decent.
out
you saw-
cold,
you
and
saw-
then get hit on the
let's
head with a
pull up
helmet.
his
Let
stats.
me
Mason
You know what I'm
Rudolph.
saying?
let me just keep going here.
Go ahead.
Hodges will be better, especially the way Rudolph's been playing of late. So
I
I
got
like
dinged
the
on
way
my head. I don't know how good I would play. I don't even know if I would know
that's
my
fair.
name.
That's fair.
I don't know either.
I don't care what the reason is for his poor play, but right now he's not.
That's the
100%.
reason. The head. You gotta
Okay,
have a
so-
brain, right? The
Yeah,
brain getting hit.
that's correct. It's correct. If that's the reason, that's
Yeah.
fine. But like, he still should not play. Hodges gives them a better chance to win the game, to win games, and that's what they need. I don't see him doing it. Their defense has been good, almost great this year. And the addition of Minka Fitzpatrick has made them a much better defensive team, I would say.
And their O-line is really good.
Their O-line is fine. Pouncey's out for a couple games, right? So he'll be back soon. But generally speaking, it's not a good look on that offense because Connor's in and out every week. Jalen Samuels is not really like a workhorse kind of running back, so like you struggled. Smith-Schuster can't match up against top corners as well as AB used to, so they struggle on offense.
So you don't think it's the Steelers?
I don't think it's the Steelers, and the Raiders were embarrassed by the Jets.
We don't even
this
have to
weekend.
say
What team you
about the
going with? What
Raiders.
team you going with, Rob? Talk to me.
I don't think the Steelers or Raiders can make it. Personally, I think if the Colts can take it to the Titans this weekend, they'll do it, and they'll take the last wild card spot. I think the Texans win that division in the AFC South. So, for me, it's the Colts. I think Brissett has done admirably in Andrew Luck's place this season, and he's kept the team basically on track to make the playoffs.
Remember, he had a couple injury. He had an injury.
Yeah, with
then
an
they started losing with Brian Hoyer.
Yeah.
And another quick thing for me with the Titans here. The thing is, the Colts, Brissett had only 129 yards in the past game with no touchdowns. They relied heavily on the rush attack, and without Mack, the Titans actually have a pretty darn good run defense. So with Brissett having Ebron out and Hilton banged up, if the Titans stop the run,
This
I
game-
can see them winning the game.
Well, when you
I
think
can see
about
them
it,
winning it.
that was early in the season. I believe that was the second game when Brissett has a lot of time to grow in that offense till now. So you saw a Brissett that just started. Basically, it was a second game. He has improved, to me, in my opinion, since that game. And obviously, he was dinged up a little bit. That's why they dropped a couple games in between. Otherwise, this would be an argument.
Oh no, he played the last Sunday, I'm saying.
Yeah, last Sunday he played.
He only had 129 yards with no touchdowns. No picks.
Oh, you talking about
but-
against the Texans?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the Titans.
Oh no, he relied heavily on the run in that
Okay.
game, and that's what I'm saying. With the Titans' solid run defense, I think if they stop the run,
But
They
T.Y.
take
Hilton
full
dropped a lot of
possession.
balls. If
Oh,
T.Y.
yeah.
Hilton
The
came
drops were
and
big.
Dagon caught some of them balls, they would have won that game.
that's what I'm saying.
So-
Ty is still banged up. I don't know if the man's head is all there. And losing Ebron to the IR, he's one of Brissett's favorite targets. So
I
that's
think
big,
T.Y.
too.
Hilton, he will
That's
get
big.
better as he get back into form.
I definitely
obviously,
think it's a
because
close
he is
game.
It's a close game, but I gotta go
I
with
want
the
to
home
watch
team.
that. I want to stream that. 'cause
I gotta
that's
go
gonna
with
be
the
a
home
great
team,
game.
man. I gotta go with the home team for that one.
Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, beans, greens, beans, greens, beans, 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 greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, chicken, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys,